Listen, I think we deserve to win the game because we had most of the game. As I said, we started the game really well. They got a goal, the penalty, which was a penalty, and they sat really deep, really defensive. And which is a prerogative to play that way. And we've just got to be patient to break it down. A lot of good play, a lot of good ball, and we get our just rewards. And some things I was happy with, some things I wasn't happy with. But all credit to the guys because we kept on going. So really happy to win.
Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Talking Town, your Ipswich Town podcast, the no spin zone, and we truly mean that. We will we'll calmly but decisively pick apart the goings on at Portman Road, something that Charlton did to us yesterday. Apparently, we started slowly. Started well, he said. Not quite sure what game he was watching, particularly Tuesday night, where we started so slowly we gave a goal away in the first couple of minutes, but okie dokie. I am once again joined by the Cruncher and by the media mogul themselves. They'll be here very shortly. But we want to hear from you guys today, so you can get yourselves busy in the chat. I can see a couple of people already leaving comments. And as always, as we always say, you are more than welcome on this show to air your opinion, to say what you've got to say. There's lots to talk about. There's obviously Hull, which seems like a million years ago. There's Charlton. There's Free the Ham. I asked you all to name today's episode, and that is the name that you came up with, Free the Ham. And we will be discussing the banning of TWTD's Phil Ham, something that none of us on this show are happy with or willing to just accept. I will bring in, first of all, the man who hasn't been with us all week. I'm sure he's got plenty to say on what's been going on at Portman Road this week. Mr. Phillips, welcome in, my friend. How you doing?
How you doing? You okay?
Not too bad. I just saw your intro there. We must have been discussing at that point Danny Graham, yes or no, and we ended up with Holly Hawkins.
Yeah, that's when we were like musing over what strikers could be coming in. He went to Sunderland, didn't he? In the end,
Is there not like a quality level there where we're aiming for Danny Graham and thinking that's not good enough, and then we ended up with?
Yeah, we keep saying this. I mean, I think I've said this on the show every week since he signed it. He weren't good enough for Portsmouth, but by some miracle, he's good enough for us, and we're promotional rivals in the same division. So I don't really get the logic of that. And I think that's been borne out by the fact he's got one goal in 12 games, whatever it might be.
Absolutely. So Phil Ham, a friend of yours, has been banned by the show, by the club. Sorry, not by the show.
Welcome here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the Crunch will have a lot to say about it, but what do you have to say about the banning of your friend, first and foremost?
Well, normally, having worked in this world for a good decade plus, normally if you're banning a journalist for something, it's over, I don't know, something bigger than what Phil's been banned for, if you see what I mean. We're talking front page, back page news, really. I mean, at the end of the day, someone has posted something independently on a forum and Phil's taken the hit for it. What this really does show is, A, it doesn't look like anyone wants to stand up to Lambert in the club from the press side.
Well, how can they?
Well, I mean, you get these old school characters, and I describe Lambert as an old school character, McCarthy, and they're kind of intimidating people to people that maybe, have only worked at Ipswich before, not worked in, in a higher press office or something. So you kind of, you're probably a bit of a yes man to them. I can get that. I'm not digging anyone out on that. I get that. I've worked with some pretty intimidating people. I just find it unnecessary, and I feel that because the wheels are falling off, we all know that. I called it on the show last week. We'd lose the 2 games, and we did. The wheels are falling off. Lambert is under pressure, even though he tells us he doesn't feel pressure. He's massively under pressure, and he's kind of lashed out. And I do think we were discussing, weren't we? I don't know whether he'd done this at Villa, where he was also working in quite difficult circumstances. I feel like maybe he did. I feel someone from BBC West Midlands got canned.
There was 3 of them, I think.
Really? 3 was it?
Yeah. I think this is the message, Matt. I think, and you can pull me up on this or stop me, but I think this is a message of, because it's such a nothing ban in the sense of it wasn't even him directly, it was a forum user, we are led to believe, that posted a team. The same way I asked both you and Rich Thursday night for your teams, had you posted the correct one, what would have happened? You know, do you know what I mean? I think it's more of a message that I will ban you, and you do have to watch what you print, what you say, what you write, because there is a banning around the corner. It's almost Chinese censorship.
Well, I was going to say, it's exactly censorship, isn't it? It's absolutely ludicrous. I'll put it like Nigel Pearson was once called out by Pat Murphy on BBC 5 Live for being a bully in the press conference. It's quite a famous scene. You can watch it back on YouTube. They went back and forth for about 7 and 8 minutes. I don't ever think Pat Murphy or BBC 5 Live were banned from going to see the report on Leicester City games. So it's
BBC though.
Yeah, well, you treat every news outlet the same, right? And Phil goes there as a journalist and as a news outlet. But where the club should have stood up to Lambert is to say that this was written, as you say, independently on the forum, which I believe Phil took down anyway. And, you know, it's not like Phil posted it or reported it as news. It's being posted independently. So the club should be stronger. I feel like if they had more experience there in the club, they would stand up to Lambert. He obviously has too much say over things. The press team should be actually running that, and Lambert just comes in as and when they need him, or a player comes in as and when they need him. I don't think it's the manager's. I don't think it's the manager's place, unless he's overseeing everything, which maybe he is, to say we're not working with that journalist anymore.
Let's grab some comment from our guys in the chat. We've got Sore Feet. Welcome in, Sore Feet. Still fuming at the way our club is being run off the field. Banning journos is a big own goal. What is going on? Well, we had this. And Crunchy will go into this a bit more with the fanzine a couple of years ago. Match ITFC, club's been a disgrace during the Evans era. We haven't had a dab of joy. Rob Pooley, welcome in, Rob. And I hope those cows are well. Never thought I'd say this, but this club lacks class big time. It's a disgrace.
That's been mentioned previously when they started charging people, I think, when Evans first came in the director's room, where Ipswich was famous for their free hospitality, and Evans decided he'd start charging everybody. And there was such a backlash on that they soon U-turned on that one. Let's hope they U-turn on this.
Nick Muller. So is Phil banned from Fanzone Radio? Well, that's the BBC, and that's, we believe, Life's the Pitch had stopped for either the short term or in terms of general. But yeah, interesting. Obviously, that one is done in the fan zone. Hawken is one of the worst players I've seen at Town. Even Newble was better. And Matt Stannard, just watch out what we comment on here. Don't want you banned. Well, we're free media, so the best we get is a few courtesy videos.
Which is fantastic. I mean, Martin's got a very good relationship with the Ipswich press team. We don't know you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
You two haven't.
we can only speculate. But we've asked for Martin to go on into the press conferences while they're on Zoom, and they said no for whatever reason. I don't know. And
that's not the reason why I've been pro Lambert for a while. Just to throw that out there, that hasn't been the reason.
And I'll say it again. I've said it before, Martin. I don't see any difference in our content as what the East Anglian Daily Times are doing in their content, other than they have a press side.
Yeah,
because they seem to be prioritising podcasts like we do.
Yeah, well, there we go. But we are free media, and as such, we have full of characters on this show, and one of which, the biggest character this fan base has. Period. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Rated R superstar.
I've got to pull you up. I've got to pull you up on something. The video you played of Paul Lambert was from Shrewsbury.
Was it?
Yeah, but I'll let you off because every video that he does sounds the same, doesn't it, Matt?
Was it really?
Yeah, it was, because he said about the penalty.
It's like
that one last night, Matt. I see it was it 6 minutes long?
Yes.
I didn't watch it. I can't
bear it. I said on Twitter, Rich, I said it's so draining. I'm calling it the Paul Lambert's Dower Hour.
Drivel.
I can't stand it.
Absolute drivel. And
don't
he look like he's had a night on the tile?
He's had enough, isn't he? He don't want to be there.
Looks shocking.
He don't want to be there doing this.
I think inadvertently, I've just, Jason, this, every interview's the same. I did not notice. I
didn't even notice.
I didn't even notice. Honestly, I barely listened to the bloke. I've got to be honest.
Washed up
I'm
chump.
tuning him out. I'm tuning him out slowly but surely. Callie, we need to be able to air our views, not having Kim Jong Lambert or Marcus Muggham 11 shut us down. So, Crunch, Phil Ham, Free the Ham, the fanzine 2012. Lots of stuff to unpack here.
Yeah,
before we can get to the game.
Yeah, I was just on Twitter this morning. I come across that, and I sort of remember it vaguely, and then I clicked on the story. So it was 2012, Turnstile Blue. I don't know, is that still going, Martin? Is that still
every now and again?
Yeah,
every now and again you'll get one.
Yeah, at intervals. Yeah.
So the guy who he didn't want to be named. He was selling it with his 8-year-old daughter and 11-year-old son at a stall, and he got a plainclothes police officer came along and sort of basically said, can we have a look at your content? We've had sort of some complaints from the club. I think it was criticising Simon Clegg and Marcus Evans. And then they basically said there's nothing there. And then there was another 2 coppers turned up and they were on about moving him along. Inflammatory. I think inflammatory is what they called it. But there you go. Don't that show, though, that the club, they just want to live in their protective bubble. As far as Phil's concerned, he's done nothing wrong. It's someone inside the club obviously has leaked that team. Why is that common knowledge to people what the team's going to be anyway? Yeah. But then again, Matt, everyone knows how we play anyway, so it don't really give a toss, does it?
No. You're exactly right. They should actually be looking at their own walls and battening down the hatches there, because somehow the team's getting out to all and sundry, and that's ended up on the Those Were the Days forum. So in fact, it's Lambert's fault for telling everybody.
Phil can't do anything about that, can he?
But I think it's nonsense, and the reason is nonsense. The reason isn't necessarily the important here. It's the fact that the only guy he probably could ban out of the small group that go to the press conferences, he did. And it's a message. It's the statement behind it. It is I have the authoritative power to do this. You will do what I want. Otherwise, you will follow the same suit. And I don't know Phil's business model. I don't know Archant's business model. I don't know Radio Suffolk's. But it's the statement behind the intent here. It's the power. And that's what's worrying me more than anything. Because I want my news unfiltered. I want my news given to me as it is, and I'll make my own opinions. I don't want it filtered down, watered down, drip fed, because it's we'll sit on that for a while. I don't want that.
What was he thinking at in the Lincoln dressing room? They're going, "Hello, many boys. If you go on this Ipswich Town forum, we've got the team here."
It's
no professional football manager would take that seriously.
Nothing out of the ordinary, was it, Matt? I don't think that lineup was anything out of the ordinary that we haven't played already this season. I always remember Phil from the 90s when I was going. He had his little table and stall behind the North Stand with him and Gav selling the fanzine. I wrote a few articles in there like now and again, and it's you think he's been connected with the club so long. I've played a couple of times with him at Portman Road in the Portman Cup, and we've had him on here, and he is a really lovely guy. So the treatment he's had, it's disgusting. It is disgusting.
And he's an easy target, I think, because
like mine said.
In Lambert's mind, he's thinking, we've got the radio here, BBC Radio, mainstream. We've got the East Anglian Daily Times, local newspaper. Oh, and we've got a fanzine writer who has proper media accreditation for games. It's an easy target to say, "Oh, right, we'll get rid."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely crazy. And as I said earlier, just show a man under pressure. You don't do those things when everything's rosy in the garden. You want everyone right with stuff.
But then you go on about, you've got Dan and Jacob Henderson. They do the interviews after match. Look, two lovely guys, great guys, but
brilliant guys. The
questions that they're firing at Lambert, he knows what they're going to ask him. They're not going to ask anything out of the ordinary.
Of course they're not, because it's their job, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's almost like state propaganda, because it is to make the club look and smell wonderful. It's not to really say, Lambo, that was shite. Why was it so shite?
Well, you said that the other day. Sorry, Matt, to cut across you. It was like when they put the Brian Klug interview out the other day. Utter horseshit, wasn't it? Putting that out.
I don't know how old Dan and Jacob are. I'd imagine they're young lads. But even in the world where I was working in, I worked with Capello and Roy Hodgson in that post-match scenario, it's intimidating. It's nerve-wracking. Talking about, bad news, defeats. What's this had, for England for football fans around the country? It is an intimidating place to be. And if you're new to that world and having to work with Lambert, who's been around the block, don't forget, it's difficult.
But then look at yesterday.
These people.
Look at yesterday. The team was out midday. I messaged you who was playing. I got a message. That was on those days, and it got taken down apparently.
Yeah. Well,
so that was out there. So that was out there.
Really, if you're confident in your team, is it really such a big deal? I used to remember Mourinho, in an act of confidence and ego, would name his team 2 days before a Champions League game or whatever. You've seen him do the press conference, and up and he goes.
Again, I don't think that's really what Lambert's sort of getting at. You know what I mean? I just think it's the reason behind that's allowed him.
It as a breach of the dressing room, a breach of club rules. But it had to come from the club in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, it did. It did. And I've the utmost respect for Dan and Jacob and all the guys there. And I'm sorry, the new chap's name has escaped me. Utmost respect, really decent fellas. But I think this speaks more about the whole club as a general. Yes. Where is our director of football operations behind all of this? I think it's time they stepped out. And I don't want a club interview. I don't care who they go to for this. Come to us, whatever. It's time you stepped out and answered some questions, not just on this, but on general things as well. Transparency now needs to happen because you're losing the will. Like I was yesterday, I didn't say sack Lambert, but today I can't stand behind Paul Lambert today. Because
he's gone, Matt. He's gone.
I can't stand behind him.
We've got him finally.
I can't stand behind a football club.
At 12 minutes to 2 on the 29th of November, the governor says...
It is what it is. Phil Ham is a really decent guy. Been on this show. He is a fantastic gentleman. If you are willing to ban somebody of that stature, of that goodwill, that all of those high character traits, I can't stand. And the football shite with it. I can't stand behind it. I'm sorry.
And Phil, as we know, was going to come on one of our specials, wasn't he? And he felt he could. I mean, he'd advertised it as such. Then he felt he was in such a situation that he couldn't. So that's then putting extra pressure on him, which he doesn't deserve. Because let's say again, someone independently has gone on the forum, posted it, and for whatever reason, Lambert, not knowing anything about this world, most likely, has.
Well, he says he doesn't. Says he doesn't know, didn't he? He didn't know about the banner the other night at the training ground.
If you said to Paul Lambert, "What do you know about the Titanic sinking in 1912?" Whatever, he'd go, "What?"
Did it?
He knows nothing about anything.
Talking of which, football yesterday, defeat, another one, 7-9, I believe. Is that the statistic?
9 points. 9 points from the last 8 games, and they were against Crewe, the mighty Shrewsbury, and Gillingham, and they were all unconvincing, weren't they?
And they were like proper pony performances, weren't they? They were not very good. Now, here's the thing. Almost a year ago, do you remember after we played Gillingham in the pouring rain on Boxing Day? It was like dire game, wasn't it? 0-0, I think it was. This was just before the 5-year contract was signed. And he did that really bizarre interview with Brenner when Brenner was asking about his future. And he kept pausing and didn't answer, did he? It was really odd. Well, I sort of pulled out some of them quotes today because we're all talking about we want him to go, right? Yep. So this is what he said. If they want to go and employ another manager, no problem, said Lambert, surprising reporters. I'll go. It's not a problem for me to go. I'll leave tomorrow. Or the next day. It's not a problem for me. Ipswich Town is the most important thing. So let's hope he's remembered those quotes.
Well, he said some of that last night as well.
The bigger thing.
When he was talking to Brenner, Matt. When he was saying to Brenner, he was saying them phrases. And he also come out with the phrase, I'll tell you what, it does my head. And he was using it when the relegation season. We need a little bit of help. We need a little bit of help.
I can't stand that.
We need help because we're watching it.
He wants money.
Well-being needs a bit of help.
I've got a stat for you boys from Stuart Watson. So, October 2019. Did you read it in the paper this morning?
No, I've not seen this one.
So from October 20, I'm not sure when in October. Played 39, won 14. This is league. Drawn 8, lost 17. So if that played out through the season, it would be 46 games, 59 points, and it would take you somewhere between 13th and 15th.
What is the delay here? What is Evans waiting for? And he's waiting on a new man, in which case, bonus. But, look, we didn't see Shrewsbury's manager get the elbow since last week.
Yeah, I still don't think he's going to go this year.
Evans always has.
He
always has someone lined up. He's not going to sack him and then wait for 2 or 3 weeks. If he gets rid of him, he'll be talking to people and he'll have someone lined up.
And we know Lambert. Borough game. Watch that Middlesbrough game, didn't he? Which was really dire, wasn't it?
Marcus Evans cares about his bottom line. You have to affect tickets. And I mean by not going, not buying merchandise. That's when he really starts to notice things. Because when we all turn up with our 2,000 and people say, oh, I won't go. But if you win that ballot, I guarantee you probably will be going.
Don't go. Make a stand.
Don't go. Exactly. Because otherwise, Paul Lambert will be here all year. It's just one of those things because you've got a 4-year, 5-year contract left. Evans ain't going to eat all of that if he can get away with fans coming back because the excitement of returning to Portman Road is there. I get that. I'm excited about returning, but it's my spiritual home.
I'm not.
It's my happy place. Portman Road's my happy place, as Jordan would say. But
come on, it's not a happy place right now, is it? It's painful. It's horrible. That whole game was just like embarrassing.
But
we went down after 2 minutes.
But it is because yesterday you would have got there at 2, had a few pints with your lads, or with your children, had some memories. So it would have been, and that's what people are clinging to.
Right, Cole Fuller, fantastic on the show on Thursday. This is his tweet last night. Sick and tired of Paul Lambert. Ipswich Town is a drug to me. It is my addiction. I trust those in charge to deal me a decent fix. An occasional high is all I want. A snake's belly is higher than anything Lambert does for my needs. And I tell you what, shout out Carl because he's nailed it. He's nailed it there.
Yeah. I mean, we're all invested in it, aren't we? Whenever we've got family things coming up, the first thing I look at is the fixture list to ensure it's not catchy. I think, now Martin's Rotor on the match day tickets. But I mean, that's how invested we are. I mean, just look at John Wedgwood Portsmouth. There's a guy who's invested in his club, and he's seen that club bounce right down from the Premier League down into League Two. But I mean, they've got a nice little model going on there at Portsmouth now. They have now. Yeah.
As of Charlton.
Well, they've got the new owner, haven't they? They've got the guy from Scandinavia has come in. They looked a decent outfit. I mean, how quick were they coming forward compared to us? Like a team that we played bolts.
Yeah. There you go. I agree with the dogs. They're completely right on that now. But Charlton fans actually went overseas to protest. They arranged an overseas protest. Yeah. We struggled to arrange one for Portman Road. Yeah. Like we are the sleepiest, angriest fan base I know.
I had a banner once. I had a banner once, Matt, if you remember.
Yeah. Well, people won't let you forget it, will they?
No.
Yeah. No. And they call you bed sheet on the forums and things. It's much easier to write your name. Shorter for that one thing.
Well, I could rehash the bed sheet.
I remember Charlton fans chucking tennis balls onto the pitch at the Valley.
Yeah.
In a protest.
Did they storm the boardroom?
Yeah, recent. Yeah. They did before the new guy came in. Yeah.
But I will say this. Marcus Evans obviously has got a lot of money invested in this football club, and selling it is not the easiest thing to do. I'm not necessarily asking for him to sell it or for him to even leave. I'm asking for a change of brain behind the operation, because if you look at every single manager he has employed, they've all got the same thing in common. They've failed. So what gives anybody the confidence?
I thought he was going to say they're called Paul.
Well, they might well be, but no, Roy.
And
but
Nick.
What gives us fans the confidence he's going to finally get it right?
Well,
go on.
It's law of averages.
We said last week. At the moment, we don't have an official CEO, do we?
No.
A Sheepshanks character. We would love to see Derek Bowden come back. He's a great
hashtag bring
back Bowden. Yeah, he's a great success at Essex, as we outlined on Twitter in the show last week. A sleeping giant, very similar to us. Got them promoted with good management and bringing in right people, and then they've won 2 county championships and the T20 title. Fantastic. Derek is a man who knows Ipswich like the back of his hand. Get him back in if he's up for it. He can be that character that fronts it up for Evans.
Would he work with Evans? I always say, Matt, right, Simon Milton, I'll give you an example. He was at the club for 30 plus years. He went, right? Nobody knows sort of what's going on there. If I look at Simon's Twitter, he never tweets directly.
No.
But if you read it, and I've said before on here, in a roundabout way, he's not very happy what's going on at that club. And I know there's ex-players. There's one who we might have on the show in a few weeks' time who have been talking to. He's not very happy. So
I I mean, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? When someone, again, we keep saying we want to see the club reconnected with that Suffolk spirit, that spirit of the Cobbolds, the ambition that Sheepshanks gave it. And Simon Milton fits into that mould. You'd be ludicrous to not want Milts in the club. Of course, he's now got another role with his Ghanaian charity, the football charity he's got. But it's just crazy to let these people walk away. These are the people we identify with, who love the club, been there 30-odd years. This is what brought success to Ipswich Town in the first place. It's so Suffolk-centric. And
that's why I've been so slow in getting behind the whole Lambert out train, because I just don't have any confidence that he's going. And you say law of averages. Well, we've had, 5, 6 managers? You would have thought one would have struck it lucky.
This will be on to his 7th. Well, Mick did to a degree. McCarthy did. We
collapsed into the playoffs, and we were wet. We were wet as an otter's pocket in the playoffs.
I'll use a Paul Lambert phrase. He needed a little bit of help in January.
Get it.
We spent 100 grand. We spent 100 grand on Freddie.
Oh God! Don't remind me. Don't remind me. So that was your. So what? Another 3 managers' time will finally be a decent side on those averages. Come on, I look, Marcus, dump your money for a year and go away. Let football brains run a football club the same way you'd allow, your party, conference, hospitality, events business to be run by a party planner, not a bloody builder. Like, do you know what I mean? Come on, it's common
get the
sense.
Right people in there. I mean, for ages he had that Ian Milne, didn't he? And we did a couple of FA events at Ipswich with the 21s, and I met Ian, and he was a really nice fella, but he was not a football man.
No, didn't have a clue.
He wasn't a football man. No, he didn't have a clue really. And neither did Clegg.
No, and exactly. We spoke about Clip before on the show, and I think this Facebook user is right. McCarthy was let down by him. I think McCarthy, I've said it many times, I didn't like McCarthy, but he would be in history alongside managers such as Royal and Burley if he'd been given a little bit of help, because he would have taken us back to the promised land.
Someone tweeted on those, not those days, on Twitter this morning. I was reading someone that they basically said along them lines that he should have been. Look, he at the end he just fell out with all the supporters. But where was his advice? I know Mick's he's an old dog and he's been in the game, but someone should have been telling him, look, keep your mouth shut. You can't fall out with supporters, and in the end, it just become, I'd say, toxic.
The most ludicrous thing ever was when he told the fan base to F off at Carrow Road.
I was there.
And that was glossed over, wasn't it?
I was telling him to F off back.
That to me is far worse than what they're indicating those were the days have done by their, by their website and that. That's worse.
Yeah. But then again,
fan base, F off.
The longer you go through history, the more you look back and you think when Giles Coke and players like that and Ballant Biner are the players we're bringing in, good God.
But then you can go to the injury. Look, Giles Coke injured. Tom Adeyemi. Here's another one. How are these players? We'll probably touch on your injury soon, but McGoldrick, he's a prime example. When he was at Town, he was just injured all the time. Webster was another one. Do you see them missing games now for Brighton and Sheffield United? They play every single week. Whereas us,
it's crazy. But we said this yesterday, didn't we? How good is the sports science fund? We don't really know, do we?
Oh well, look,
we don't really know.
I could tell you, it's rubbish. How many players you got injured?
But I will spin it around the other way, Matt. If we get a new manager in, how many of them players will be on the treatment table? Because I'll tell you for a fact, a lot of them will think, "Oh shit, I better get fit now."
Well, this is one of the things I was going to say yesterday to you guys. I was going to message you. I forgot to do it, but that in itself brings a problem, doesn't it? If we do want to make a change and Evans is waiting to make a change, if you're a new guy, you're going to come into Ipswich Town Football Club, you're looking at a dozen players in the treatment room right now. So you haven't really got, you can't pick the best team. A lot of your first team squad are out injured. You might look at it and go, actually, I'll wait for another opportunity somewhere else.
There you go.
I can't make an immediate impact.
There you go. Sore feet for the beat. Are they injured or not wanting to play? And I totally agree with that. I agree with that.
How ludicrous was this? Summed it up, didn't it? I mean, that McMill said, "What is wrong with this club?" Norwood's on the touchline, shouldn't even be in that position yesterday. Gets trodden on, doesn't he? Tweaks his, on the back of his ankle, tweaks his hammy. He's out now probably until January something.
Well,
Crazy.
I'll ask you the same what I asked Cruncher and Adam yesterday, Matt. What on earth is this?
I saw this. I've now downloaded this app. Thanks, Ad.
What is it? Like, what is he trying to do?
Just try and work it out. It's 2 4 1 1 2 1.
It's a piss up. That's what it is. It's a clock up. Look at it. I mean, let's so do the conga. Do do do. Can't
It
go
reminds me
on.
of like little, you know, when little kids, when we were little kids and we had to play on 11-a-side pitches, and everyone would just follow the ball like wasps around honey.
Yes.
It reminds me of that. That's what it looks like.
It is silly. But then again, you know, you say about the treatment room, and he says recently he wants a little bit of help. Any manager coming in will want the same, a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And which is where it comes into my thing on Thursday, and still of that mindset. You are just going to get a bunch of senior pros that perhaps are not in the first, well, they won't be, not in the first team squads in the league above or what have you, that come in, impress for a couple of weeks, and then we give 2-year contracts to. You know, there's a reason Emir Hughes, respect to him for being a pro player, but the reason why he was available in the first place. The same reason why Alan Judge was available in the first place. Because they had injuries. And it was a gamble. Yeah. And we gamble. We always gamble incorrectly.
Make the wrong decisions, don't we? And Hughes, like, now we can, when he gets interviewed on these things by the club or on the radio, he's got all the get up and go of a flat tire. I mean, he's not going to inspire you to get into those top 2 positions, is he? Do you know what I mean?
Ian
like
Peters.
Nothing there. It's like Dwayne's behind the eye.
He's dour, a bit dour, isn't he?
You want a kicking character? People with some fire. Come on.
Distraught Mike. Distraught Mike. What do you think, Mike? What do you think?
Oh, I'm raging. I haven't stopped raging from yesterday after the scoreline. After the first half, I was raging.
You're supporting non-league football now, aren't you, Mike?
Sorry?
Was that you who posted, I'm going to support non-league team from now on? Was that you?
Yeah. I just don't know. I just don't know what to think anymore. I genuinely don't. I've been looking back at the transfers at Ipswich and stuff, and I'm working out the money that we've spent on players that we've brought in, and money that we've players that we've sold. It's kind of on even balance. All the rest of the money that Marcus has put into this club, it's been on loanees and freebies and wages. Yeah. You know, that's just one thing. And like you said earlier, Marcus Evans, we had Mick McCarthy, who came in, needed some money, quite frankly, to take us to that, to get us up. And we could have done that season, I think, if we'd have had a bit more investment. Yeah. But no, Marcus Evans, in his wisdom, said, no, you can make do with loanees. And it's just been loanee, no need, the odd expenditure here. But then that expenditure has been offset with the sale of Wickham, Cresswell, Mings, just to name a few. And then we got rid of McGoldrick. We got rid of Gardner. To name a few. You know, all these money, all these players have been sold, and we brought in all these sort of League One, League Two players under Hurst. He wasn't, in my opinion, I've said it before, he wasn't given enough time. I think he'd have done a far better job than Lambert has. I'm going to say it. I love or hate Hurst. It's up to you. Don't bother me. For me, and then we got Lambert. I never wanted him in the first place. The fact he got connection with Norwich was bad enough, and then. For him to take us into League One, an ex-Norwich manager, and I'm getting like my Norwich mates. I mean, I know it's banter, but it gets a bit laborious after a while. You get Norwich fans going, secret agent Lambert's taking you down. He'll take you down to League Two.
We'd have done the same though, Mike. Right. If that had been the other way around, we'd have been taking the piss out of them, wouldn't they? If they had an ex-Ipswich man, we'd have been all over
But
them.
they wouldn't have taken an ex-Ipswich Norwich. Can you imagine them taking Burley?
They'd love Burley.
They'd never take Burley in a million years.
The only one I can think of was when Brian Hamilton was caretaker boss there, wasn't he? That's the only one that springs to mind. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We had Ian Marshall as a goalkeeper from Norwich. How did that go? He was turned out to be a bit of a flop, wasn't he? And and then yesterday this permanent 4-3-3 rubbish.
Let him go. Let him keep going. Just take us off the screen. Just take us off the screen and let Mike have the floor.
Honestly, you say 4-3-3, Mike. It's only 4-4-2.
It drives me up the wall. I mean, we've got so many good players at the club. I know we've got a lot of injuries. But again, you have to ask them why we've got so many injuries. We've got so many injuries. What is our physios and our medical staff at the club? Are they out of college or what? Like Richard, you said, somebody said earlier, I think it was Richard, about Webster, McGoldrick, all them clubs, they've not had no injuries at other clubs.
They're all fit now, Mike.
Regular football.
Or is it a comfort zone? Is it a comfort zone?
I can't understand it.
Is it a comfort zone, Mike, at Ipswich? It's all too easy for them.
Something.
Well, I think the biggest problem is the fans are not tough enough. I think we need to now start letting the club know what's going on, and what we want as a, I know we're in lockdown and that, but seriously, we had that one little banner, and look what they did. They took it down so the players can't see it.
They would have seen it. They'd have seen it on.
Of course, they would have done. Yeah, that had been up there because they go on social media, not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Lambert's banned
Blue Action for doing that.
TWTD.
That was good from Blue Action because there's no other way of protesting at the moment, is it? So make a banner, go to the training ground, hang it up. Perfect.
Hang it up, and they take it down.
It's not enough.
Yeah. Well, they won't take it down, but they did it. They've done it.
Yeah, but it's not enough, is it? I mean, I went to a meeting, the 5-point plan with that was set up before. No, you laugh, but it was.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the 5-point plan.
Yeah, but this was a response by fans in response to that 5-point plan. It was no ambition, etc., etc. I went to the meeting. Obviously, this was pre-lockdown to discuss what we were going to do in terms of protesting against the club and this rubbish 5-point plan.
You're on about Mark's. You're on about Mark's.
That's it.
I thought you were on about Marcus's 5-point plan.
No,
because where's that gone? Where's Marcus
forget
Evans'
that for a minute. But I went to that Mark Beck 5-point thing, and there was about 20 of us. 20 people turned up. We'd just been relegated into League One. We were sitting in mid-table. You would think this is the height of.
But we know what it is.
My God!
We get it. Look, listen, we get it all the time. They're all on their little keyboards. They're all brave. They have a go at people like us who come on here. At least we have an opinion. At least we put ourselves out there. We don't hide. We're not hiding like some of them are. If you really believe in it, you get behind it, wouldn't you?
And I do. I tell you what, though, Mike, you mentioned lack of investment. Yesterday, Charlton had a player come on called Omar Bogle. Free transfer from Cardiff. We had a free transfer in the summer up front. His name was Ollie Hawkins.
Sorry, I lost everyone for a second there.
Oh, we're back. Can you see us, Mike?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think the internet went.
I was just asking.
Paul Lambert on me.
Yeah, Bogle. But I thought Hurst was going to bring Bogle in actually because they worked.
Do we
get him at Grimsby?
Yeah.
But is that huge investment, or is that just having a strategic recruitment policy? On a handle on what players can deliver at this stage. Like Omar Bogle is quality. He's a quality player.
A bit of, maybe it's a little bit of both there. I don't know. They've got the new guy. They've got the new chairman in. He's obviously put a little bit of money into them. They've been able to get a free transfer in. But
answer me this: if Caden Jackson had been sold in the summer, would Ollie Hawkins have replaced Caden Jackson's goals?
No.
That's a no.
So what was the thinking behind? I hate to pick on the lad, but he was brought in as that third striker. So if Jackson was sold. Who would have got goals?
Got more faith in Chambers scoring a goal up front than I have Ollie Hawkins.
Yeah. Well, look at Chambers finish against Blackpool, mate.
Looked like a world beater, and he had one game for us.
Yeah.
Mac says entire Serbo Robinson stand clapped and cheered the players after relegation, in which they had no desire to fight for survival.
My little comparison is always look what happened when Hamburg were relegated for the first time ever from the Bundesliga. They set fire to the stand basically. Riot police had to come on the pitch. Whereupon we was all going, well done.
Yeah. How did we?
A few years back, I did a protest to get Magilton out, right? Because of stuff I was hearing behind the scenes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was there. I've got old man's up. But in all fairness, right, I still think it was the right decision back then. But every decision after that by McCarthy has been Evans, and it's been poor. And I don't know who's advising him. It's got to be some absolute. Athletics coach, wasn't it? Oh yeah, Clegg. Let's get Roy Keane in. Bit of publicity stunt for us. It was just bad decision. No money. We wasted money with Roy Keane. And then we bring in players like Jonathan Douglas and
Lee Mine.
Judge.
We had $1 million on him, didn't we?
Leon Best.
1.5.
The list
I think
just goes on and on and on. You think yourself.
Yeah, but there you go, Mike. You've just said about Leon Best. We had Daryl Murphy. We sell him. This is what the owners like. We sell him 3 days. Was it 3 days before the transfer deadline?
Daryl Murphy.
Wasn't it 4 days? Wasn't it
3 or 4? And they replaced him with Leon Best. So. And we have a go at Mick, but that was what he was up against.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, when Evans took the club over, They had no history in football whatsoever, and people in the club told me these aren't football people. So they obviously just bought it on the premise that they'd be able to get into the Premier League.
He's admitted that himself, Matt.
Yeah, but I mean, I sometimes think to myself, they must have bought it with the view of getting Keane in, because the model there was good, I thought, to get Keane in. So you've got all the fans now invested. Wow, Roy Keane's now at Ipswich Town. Fantastic. So then they're thinking to themselves, now we've got a Man United legend. He's got Sunderland promoted. He takes us into the Premier League. Suddenly that opens up the Far East market with Man United fans wanting to come and see Ipswich with Keane in charge. It all makes sense. But unfortunately, no one delivered on it. And now everyone's just probably been struggling ever since. I think that was his plan A.
Yeah, but then he bought Roy Keane in. I think the first season we signed Ledbetter, Edwards. And then the next season, he had to get rid of like John Stedwent. He was playing a young lad who I sponsored, Tom Eastman. He was playing him. And this is Roy Keane, who they got in. Tom Eastman's had a good career. Look, he's played really well at Colchester. But Roy Keane didn't come in, I'm sure, to have lads like Tom Eastman in his first team. He didn't.
He bought Lee Martin, didn't he?
Yeah, Lee Martin, million.
Yeah, we would say that. Yeah, Lee Martin, 1.5 million. That was a strange purchase, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, look, Sawforce just put it on there. Look, yeah, Redknapp is well known to be one of Evans's advisors. Certainly on Paul Gill, I believe. He really pushed Paul Gill to the club, which was a bizarre appointment in the first place, wasn't it? Because he was a few years removed from like being good at Bradford and that.
What, Paul Gill? Yeah, well, but again, it was somebody who had a bit of pedigree that you felt, he obviously felt, could turn it around. Same as Paul Lambert. Like when we got relegated, I think everyone was sort of clapping and almost not happy, but in a way of, well, Lambert's got credentials in League One. He's done it. He's been there. He's done it. We're going to reset. And everyone, don't forget, people were calling for a League One relegation for years, saying it will do us good. We can reset, do a Southampton, do a this, do a that. And other people were saying, no. We'll be there for years if it happens to us. And you had that sort of split in that thinking, and it's playing out. And I even myself in that summer, I felt with Lambert in charge, he's been there, he's done it, he would do it again. Same as Jewel. I mean, if everyone says, "Oh, Roy Keane, terrible manager, I wasn't happy," I think they're lying. I think that's a bit of looking back and rethinking history, because at the time, everyone to a man would have thought Roy Keane,
exactly,
big manager, done it with Sunderland. I don't care what happened in the end. He left them in the Premier League. That's where I want to go. Things are happening at this football club.
But he took on an established team at Sunderland anyway. It's a bit like Pep Guardiola going to Bayern Munich. He already had a established team anyway.
It weren't a bad team here either. Magilton had done all right with it.
Well, look who was in that team when Keane arrived. Giovanni Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Which I believe Evans got in as a favour from Spurs to try and boost season tickets. So he must be thinking in that mindset again. How can I boost this fan base right now?
Do you remember that, Matt, when he signed? Do you remember when he signed? I was thinking, how the hell have we got him?
I'd seen him playing for Barca on the opening day of the season against Atletico Bilbao in the new camp. And 12, 18 months later,
he was rude to the fans. He was rude to the fans. He was rude to kids. I remember some friends of mine took their kids to the Bury Town game. Right? Oh, can my boy have your autograph? I'm here to manage team, not sign autographs.
Oh, it was Keno with this, wasn't it?
What about me, Matt?
Building a bond with a fan base for a start.
Have I told you the story of me and him?
No. You didn't start on him, did you?
So Barnsley away. You know when we were going through that horrendous run when we...
Oh, right. The 1-0 game?
No, the 2-1.
We had 2-1, yeah.
It took us about 14 games, didn't it, to win a game that season. We beat Derby in December. So we went to Barnsley. I took my old man. I think it's for Father's Day. We lost 2-1, a penalty in the last minute, and we waited around to see him after the game. He'd done his press. He'd done the Sky, and he said, I'm going to do the radio, then I'll come back. So he's come back. We've waited for him. Fair enough. He's come back. I've gone to have a picture with him, and I've put my arm around him. You know what he said to me? Can you take your arm off me? And I thought, I'll tell you what, we fucking waited here for 45 minutes, an hour after the game for you, and then you say that, and I thought, that's it, I'm done with you.
Yeah, but he was the same with the players. Remember, I interviewed David Norris, and Norris was having a meal in a pub in Woodbridge. He saw Keno, and he was like, "Please don't come over. Please don't come over," because you never knew what Keane you were going to get. And then suddenly a tray of drinks arrived, and it was bought by Roy. Yeah. Even the players didn't know what they were ever going to get from Roy Keane. But at the time, I think everyone thought the club was going places. But looking back, you say to Santos, doesn't that show where we were as a club then and now? Like when he came in, he's overpromised. Champions League football, a level playing field. Never again will we want for anything. We will be on a level playing field with those coming down. Never again will we want. Well, where all the promises? You've promised everything and delivered absolutely nothing.
They've failed miserably, haven't they?
Plus debt. That's what he has given us.
Yeah, but it's all his debt. It's all
his
his.
It doesn't matter who's his debt. It's still a debt, isn't it? It's still a debt. If we go to sell, we'll go and sell our club. If he wants to sell that club, that debt is with him. That's tax deductible on every level. Every year for the next 25 years. I can't get my head around how he's managed to become a billionaire running Ipswich like he has.
The thing is, if the club folds, what does he get? If he said, "Well, that's it," no. So what's in the interest for him to do that? Exactly.
It won't fold.
So if he wants to sell it,
as Bury Town, and I feel for Bury Town fans, I genuinely do. I think EFL and obviously their chairman done them no favours whatsoever. But as Ipswich as a club, someone somewhere would come in and save us, and this is what fans don't seem to realise. We harp on about us being a big club. We are at the moment an average club in League One.
We're the biggest club in League One.
Useless manager in Paul Lambert. When he came in, I didn't want him. He failed at Stoke, failed at Wolves. Ever since, like I've said it before, Culverhouse left, never been the same manager.
But the common denominator, Mike,
doing exactly that now. We've got
Mike,
Stuart Taylor, and he's just an awful assistant.
The common denominator in all of this, it's not Paul Lambert, it's not Paul Hurst. We've said it before on here. It sticks with the owner, and it always will.
Yep. Yeah.
I always feel like he made the wrong. Even though I supported Hurst coming in, I thought he'd do really well for us. Hurst, young manager coming through, I thought he'd do really well. But for ages, if you looked at the betting odds, Jack Ross was the favourite for the Ipswich job. I feel like they probably took the wrong jobs, because if you feel like how McCarthy style football and how many draws Ross got with Sunderland, a more defensive style would have suited him coming to Ipswich most likely in the Championship. And Hurst had gone to Sunderland. He'd have had another season to build his profile and probably take Sunderland up, given that he was so close in League One with Shrewsbury. So I feel like we probably appointed those appointments around the wrong way, really.
I still think if the owner had given the manager the proper backing, Paul Hurst may have been a bit more of a success here. His football
ideology was really good.
Well,
just too many changes, wasn't it, Mike? Too many changes at once was the issue.
But I keep saying that. You brought a manager in to play a style of football, and then to accomplish that style of football, you had to sell all the silverware off to bring in the players to play that style of football. That was the problem. You lost Martin Waghorn as goals.
We didn't lose them. They wanted to leave anyway.
Oh, come on. New contract. They'd sit there and say, cheers, boss.
Anyway, what about
Joe? They wanted to leave.
What about Joe Garner, Mike? Because he wanted to go back up north. He's going to go to India.
I know. So
we've got Robbie Fowler. Man, it's been good. Yeah,
exactly. These players wanted to leave, and they were just using every excuse under the sun to get out of the club. We were a sinking ship.
I just think a lot of it is culture, because Paul Hurst wanted to change the culture, didn't he, behind the scenes, and he probably went about it maybe the wrong way.
His fell out with Chambers, didn't he?
Yeah, but there you go. There you go. So you've got big characters there. Who obviously run the dressing room, and they didn't like it, did they? Because they're still there. They are still there. Yeah.
So what's the answers then, lads? We're sitting here. I'm still raging. I'm still distraught. I'm still very upset about it. So what is the answer? We know that. Well, look, are we all consensus that Lambert needs to go now? Are you on our side? Are you on the dark side yet, Martin?
I can't stand behind him. I've said, and I won't stand behind it, but I still don't see what a change of manager is going to accomplish at this point.
You're with him then. You can't be on the fence.
I'm never on the fence. I'm not publicly going to say, oh, he's my manager, but I'm not going to say sack him either. So I'm on the fence.
You've always been of the opinion that this summer is where it could move forward, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm so close to seeing that reset button. And that includes Lambert no longer being the manager, unless he gets promoted by some miracle, that I just don't want to see somebody come in and told, right, you're coming in because we're not top two. You've got to accomplish that. Instant pressure, instant bad transfer deals. And by the way, the real problem's still making the decisions. I want to press Marcus Evans, who's the owner, to just dump his money and say, right, I'm putting somebody in charge. If that's Lee O'Neill, then fine, be a Lee O'Neill. I don't care at this point. Just somebody who's got responsibility for everything, and is not just a a paper figure, somebody who's just there to try out every puppet.
Something tells me, Martin, that as we were discussing earlier about the field situation, I feel like probably Lambert is playing that role at the moment. I think he's overseeing all areas. It sounds like
he is.
We know for a fact that he bought the community trust back. Well, that shouldn't really be his role, should it? That's a back office job.
But too many questions are not asked. We've still got a director of football at the football club. Nobody asked what's he done, and if he's not doing anything, why isn't he not doing anything? Yeah. If he's on gardening leave, why is he on gardening leave?
Is that Mick
Bowman?
Is he still there?
Bowden? Is he Bowden? I can't remember his name. Dave Bowman.
I'm sure he's on the website. Last time I checked,
still there.
On the website, I mean, he may not. Hey, if someone says to me he's left, that's fine, brilliant. But then why did he leave? Why do we let somebody who's got a proven record of finding talent just walk out the door?
Anyway, I want to ask Mike a question. You coach, right? So we were playing Charlton yesterday. So scouting wise, you would have watched the game they played against Burton. They had a centre midfielder, Darren Prattley, and a right back, Chris Gunter, playing as centre halves, who they made 2 mistakes against Charlton, give 2 goals away. So if you're doing your scouting report, where are you going to target in their team?
Oh, target the 2 centre backs.
So why are you playing 1 striker when you think, right, we're going to target these today, we're going to put 2 strikers on the pitch and we're going to go at them?
Because I didn't play for ball. I didn't win the Champions League.
Right.
You know, that's what I was sat there scratching my head. But, I mean, you put your team up. I'm a great lover of 3-5-2. I'll tell you what, if we'd have played 3-5-2 yesterday, and I know, like, we'd all debate who can play in positions. Chambers can play wing-back role. He's more than capable of getting up and down the pitch. I know he's getting on in years, but he's got fitness. We got 3 centre-backs. We could have had 1 holding midfield, which could have dropped in to make a 4.
What about your man, Judge?
Judge, I wouldn't have played him.
Do you know what made me
Judge? I wouldn't play
was
Judge in my under-18s.
I was waiting for that.
You like setting him up, didn't you?
I just cannot stand that player. He's awful. He's just a younger. I don't know. He's not. He's just another. Yeah, he's just another.
Well, Mick Mills was surprised. I listened to the post-match on the way to work this morning. He said he was surprised when we went to 4-4-2, which I thought we couldn't play, but obviously we can.
Yeah.
And then he played Judge alongside Andre in the midfield, and he said he was surprised. He said he played quite well, but he was surprised there how well he played. He held his position, and it's like little things like that. The manager, surely he should try these different things and then think, oh, it does work. Because if you keep doing the same old, you're going to get the same old, aren't you?
You are.
Formation doesn't suit Judge, in my opinion. Maybe a new, like I said again, we get someone that come in with, with a bit more up to date and a good assistant. A manager is only as good as the assistant and that he's got on board and the team he has around him. And this is like I said to you earlier. Well, I said all the time, Mark. Lambert doesn't have a good team around him because if he did, they'd be telling him, "Look, seriously, this 4-3-3 ain't working." We got, like you said, we got 2 players at the back for Charlton yesterday that are completely playing out of position. Look, let's get Jackson and Norwood on them. Norwood got injured yesterday because he was doing all the work up front on his own. That's why he got injured.
There we go. Right.
Mike, this is what sums up Judge for me yesterday. We had that free kick, didn't we, in the first half, and Gazelle and McGavin were over it, and Judge ran over to them and whispered into their ear. He then peels off to the left. They pass it to him. He lamped it straight into the bloody stand.
I can't exactly say what I said. I can't say what I say. I'm not going to swear because middle of the day, but I promise you now, ABC was out of my mouth at that particular moment. I'm saying, that was a absolute shocker.
You're totally right about having coaching staff around you, which is why Mick McCarthy always has Terry Connor with him. And obviously, Culverhouse was really the fit for Lambert. They've had a falling out of Villa and they've gone their separate ways. And that's been borne out right now because, we are where we are.
Yeah. And since then, I think it's been Stuart Taylor and here he is. 3rd tier. Yeah. So, it is what it is. Right. Anyway, we're going to move on because we've got a prize giveaway coming up, Mike. I love your name. I love your contribution as always. We appreciate you. I'm just going to move on. So, Media Mogul Stories coming right up. Mike, we love you.
Lads.
Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, Mike. Appreciate you. So, let me just grab the screen. Here it is. The Media Mogul Story in association with Networking 90. Don't be left in the dark. Get Get networking. Head to www.networking90.co.uk for more information.
I've just seen that little comment from Harry there. Last Toure is better than Judge.
And apparently Dave Bowman has left the football club. My mistake.
Oh, he
My
has?
apologies.
Well,
My
I've never seen
apologies.
that reported.
Well, you don't see things like that reported. So, moving on.
Media Mogul. So, we were going to play this last week, but we got so invested in other things we forgot, didn't we?
I did.
But a little bit of light relief. We're going to go to the third tier of Romanian football. And this was doing the rounds last week. And it is Miroslava versus Pascani in the Romanian Liga 3. And this is a goal scored by Robert Asavai. I think that's how you say it. My Romanian's not as good as it used to be. And Miroslava won 4-0. Play that BT, Martin. Play that BT.
Vedem un contraatac ignorant de partea stângă, Urte și Asavai și Moreanu de partea dreaptă, centrare în careu.
Sign him up.
What a finish. Now imagine if Ollie Hawkins scored that. A scorpion kick. Go. Unbelievable.
Poor Ollie Hawkins. Poor Ollie.
Have you got the still of it, Martin, so people could see it?
Hawkins does that in training every week, apparently.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he really? No, come on. Come on. Yes, I have got the still of it. 2 seconds.
So you could see it.
I say it's good. I tell you, the bloke down the left, he reminded me of a player. Who used to play for Charlton, and I can't remember his name. Same sort of, same sort of hairline. Anyway, yes, I'm just grabbing the picture now. 2 seconds. But I have got this picture. Which...
yeah, that's my other one. That's my other media mogul for this week. This is in Brazil.
Do you want to talk us through that one? Because,
now,
I do not know.
Now, Rich, you've worked around. You've been involved with volunteering grassroots football. Volunteers are the lifeblood of the game.
I've seen.
You get asked to do lots of. You get asked to do lots of different roles, don't you? You be a groundsman, put up the nets, and all this kind of thing.
I've seen some funny lines before, Matt, but I've never seen one like that.
So this is the centre circle, or in the Jose Garibaldi Stadium, Cambay versus Paranovia.
Where did you get this from?
This is what I saw on Twitter this week. And the referee, Wagner Silva, before kickoff, noted down that the centre circle looked slightly defective.
Slightly?
Yeah. Well, they kicked off with it. They played the game with it, and Paranovia won 2-0. But, I don't know what's happened there. Unless they've had, the volunteers have come in and just, I don't know what's happened there. They've had a couple of drinks before the game, I think.
Look, how important is the centre circle, really?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's not going to make a lot of difference, is it?
I want to see the penalty box, though. If he's done that with a circle, what's he done with a box?
Yeah. I'm presuming they're volunteers, so we can't have a go at them too much, but that did make me chuckle.
Yeah, we can. Volunteer and do it right. Look at it. Woeful. And the steal of the first shot is here. There we go.
There it is. Look at that. Does that remind you? Remember Rene Higuita, the Colombian keeper?
Yeah.
When he made that save at Wembley.
Did Giroud score one like that for Arsenal, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, I don't think he was in the air like that. He wasn't in the air like that, but he was a scorpion against Palace.
Fantastic, isn't it?
There you go. Clive Mendonca.
Clive Mendonca, that's it. Yeah. Look at that. A bit of flair. That's what we're missing at Portman Road right now.
How much would he cost, you reckon?
That guy?
Clive Mendonca?
No.
The Romanian fella.
Yeah, him. The guy who's just scored a worldie.
What did we pay for Mingsy? 10 grand and some tracksuits? Off from that.
Yeah,
I like it over. Great goal. What a goal.
Love it. Fantastic. Right. Should we do the prize draw? We got anything else to should we do injuries? Should we do the injuries before we do the prize draw? Should we add to our injury list? Here we go. This is brought to you in association with Charlie and Duffy of Casualty.
Stu Watson tweeted about this yesterday. He said we're only a goalkeeper away from being able to put together a pretty decent injured 11. Have you got the list there, Rich?
We probably have a better 11 than we've got on the pitch at the minute, won't we?
We've got right back Kane Vincent-Young, centre backs Enciala and Wilson, yeah. Ooh. Then left back Nyden,
Tristan, yeah.
Put down. Then you got centre midfield Skews and Hughes.
Oh God.
Centre midfield Downs. Centre midfield Bishop and Nolan. right wing Edwards, left wing Sears, striker Norwood. So
That team would get run on every day of the week. Toto and Wilson, your back two, and then Emir and Scusi as your holders. Oh, good grief. What are we playing? Walking football?
But I mean, how many of these injuries were done on the training ground and how many in a game? So came Vincent Young? We're saying that was in the game at Colchester?
God knows.
He said he was injured to begin with.
They said about the pitches. Right, so just going off on one, I was talking to my boss, Dave, big Coventry fan, but always watches the pod, Martin, and he loves it. So we're talking this morning. We always have a chat on a Sunday. He rang me up we chatted about the pitches, you know.
Yeah.
They are harder now than they used to be because I think the Portman Road pitch, it used to be. Do you remember when Winston Chapman was down there, Matt? The groundsman.
I remember Alan Ferguson. I don't remember Winston.
He was before it. He was there when the Brian Gunn own goal. You remember the pitch there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the pitch was awful. So they've replaced a lot of the soil with the sand. So it obviously drains a lot better, but it is a lot firmer. But I still, with hamstring injury, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I would say about all those people, 4 players were injured in training, were they? I'd say Wilson, Hughes, maybe from the other night. I don't know. Was Edwards in a game? I don't know if he got injured in a game. He was training.
Edwards training.
So 3 to 4 were done in training, and in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other 7 are about.
Hughes was his back, but it's gone into his hamstring. So they said.
And it was only a matter of time before Bishop got injured, wasn't it? Given his injury record.
Yeah. So that's code, isn't it? For I dropped him. It's like, it's his back. No, it's his head. No, it's his hamstring. No, it's his arm. I'll tell you what, though. If you've ever been to Prezzo's in the Stone Market, there's a couple of deadly steps in that restaurant, right? I've fallen foul a couple of times myself. I can probably see Edwards, right? He's going for his mushroom risotto.
Yeah, that didn't he?
The steps got him. It gets us all eventually.
Really?
Don't be too upset.
What, a tripping incident or a slipping incident?
Trip. I mean, you literally drop into a hole as you enter the restaurant.
Where there's blame, there's a claim.
It's their fault.
It's not. For legal reasons, it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
We're joking. Yeah.
I'd send Judge there.
But I suppose Teddy, I spoke to someone this morning who he knows Teddy, and he said he's the back of his calf and his Achilles were. Hey, don't pull faces at me over there. It was black and blue from it because he did get kicked off the pitch last Saturday against Shrewsbury. So
he did, yeah. They trod down his back of his leg as well, didn't they?
Yeah, 3 or 4 times. So look, that's an injury in the game which I can take. Pulled muscles and injuries in training. I think something's.
That's a warm-up thing, isn't it? A preparation thing. It's a warm-up thing. Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen them train. You know my thoughts on their training. It is hell to leather by the looks of it.
Mick Mill said last night, didn't he? 75% you can get. Don't have to do 100% in training. Just ease back a little bit.
But that one clip they showed, they were going 100%. People were lunging for a ball in the net, and it's like, chill out.
And rarely do you see hamstring injuries in the game these days. Hardly ever in the Premier League football do you see someone pull out with a hammy, do you? Anymore? Used to be a thing years back, not now.
I said it was a warm-up or a warm-down issue. I did personally. Yeah. I still think it is. I mean, whenever I pulled anything, it's because I didn't warm up properly. It's because I turned up and just tried straight on. Do you know what I mean? I'm over.
Too good to warm up.
I'll tell you what, I had a nice Chardonnay last night. It was beautiful. Anyway,
what did you have? Did you have pork chops?
Yes, I did.
You got no apple sauce though, Matt.
No.
He was doing a takeaway, wasn't he? He was going to go takeaway.
And then you two worked me again. We want this clip and that clip and this clip and that clip. Right. Should we do prize draw? Because we've got a fantastic giveaway. Cruncher, talk us through what it is, why it is.
So Andrew Murphy on Twitter at PiratesMurph24. Are you taking him out the show? You can do. This was about a month back. He wanted to give, because obviously COVID, people are struggling. He wanted to give someone who's struggling for Christmas for like their kids. He wanted to give a shirt away. This was all he wanted to do, one shirt.
Brilliant.
So snowballed from then, and we've got 17 prizes here. He's had 350 quid he's had donated, so he's turning that into 10 shirts.
Wow.
So big shout out to Andrew because
Andrew. That's brilliant,
a lot of doom and gloom at the minute with our football club, but when you've got people like that who support us, you think, look, you've got to take your hat off. And so we've got 17 prizes. We've got, is it 61 entrants on the wheel?
Oh, yes, we have. Can I ask, are any of the prizes a Marcus Evans hospitality package or a season ticket?
Can't see it in here.
No surprise.
Not there.
I might donate a season ticket. No, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Not right now. It's 61. There it is.
Can we give some love in the comments to the wheel? Because Martin's claims he's worked on this all morning.
Thank you. Yes, I have.
Nice colours. Look at the colours.
I've removed the yellow and green.
But he's not just worked on the wheel, has he? All will be revealed in a minute. You know.
Do I?
Yeah, when you put the wheel on and you've been working on it, you should know what you've been doing.
I thought I'd forgotten something else. I had to download the last image for Matt. I've forgotten to download it. I had to quickly upload it onto the system.
So we've had the people who have donated. Martin will put them on screen. Not everybody wanted to be mentioned, so there's more people that are on screen. There you go. There's the people who have donated prizes. Also, brilliant. Scott Loach, he's donated a shirt signed from when he was at Town, and Jack Lancaster has got there's a signed Town away shirt. That's the top prize. So
shout out Scott Loach and Jack Lancaster. Brilliant.
So I will get there. It is the Wheel of Fortune.
I've got my list of people.
Okay. When you're ready.
Stop, Matt can go first. He can say stop or start or whatever you're going to do.
Let's start. Let's get ready to rumble.
There we go. Right.
37. 37.
Taylor Jordan. It is at Taylor Bossanquet. Don't worry, I will write it down. So number 37.
Nice.
Well done.
This must be the FA Cup draw.
You have won a signed 2019-20 Town away shirt.
Wow.
Lucky boy. Do you want me to remove now number 37 from proceedings?
If you can.
Yeah, there you go. You've gone.
You can do that.
Right. When you're ready.
Spin that wheel.
This tech is unbelievable.
No expense spared.
It's 61. 61.
The last one.
Better late than never.
At Lazy Boy ITFC. Well done. Anyway, Matt, just before, did you do a Christmas song once?
I have done a Christmas song.
Oh,
yes.
we'll have to hear that.
We may see this in December.
There you go. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube, you can see the music video for it. It's fantastic.
Can you send me the link?
Oh, I can.
Send me the link. Send me the link. Right, number 3. Number 3 is a shirt and a calendar from Jack Prentice. So, spin that wheel. Number 23. At Anon Follower. Oh, yeah, number 23. That's wrote down.
There we go. Matt?
Number 4. Number 4 is FM21 code from Luke Hume.
Top work, Luke. Top guy.
Nice. Martin would have liked that.
I've got it.
39. I know this guy. Colin Mays. Well done, Colin.
Well done, Colin. You'll lose half your life now.
So number 5, it was going to be a fly the flag package, but obviously with COVID, we're having no fly the flag. So it's going to be a virtual mascot package.
Brilliant.
Before I go any further, Callie just says no more yellow and green, which is good news. And Adam Flat says, how to run a football club by Marcus' webinar. I am available for such things, Marcus. If you do need help in doing a webinar live on air, I am available for hire. You probably can't afford me.
Spin. There we go.
Number 46.
Right, so 46 is at Lisa Jane, and it says in her bio, born in Norfolk. But we'll let you off, Lisa, because it says with a Suffolk heart, and she supports ITFC. Hey, so you've got a virtual mascot package.
Brilliant.
Did you not realise even Norwich fans support Ipswich? Because we've had comments from Norwich fans on our live match day tickets, and we live in their heads rent free. So they must support Town, really.
Yeah. Right, sixth prize is a signed Jack Lancaster programme.
Oh, can I win that?
You're not in.
Oh.
12.
Lisa B.
Lisa B. Signed
Yeah.
Jack Lancaster programme.
Jack Lancaster
Enjoy it.
programme.
Lisa
On
be
your
winning.
way. So next one is a ITFC colouring set.
That was wasted. Right, okay. I'll tell you what, though.
From Laura.
This tune, you could really put to a good football chant about how we play, if you think about it.
Number one. Danny Robinson. He lives in Ireland. Proud daddy.
Nice.
There you go.
Good
ITFC
work.
fan all the way to Ireland. Well done,
Irish
Danny.
Blues.
Who's paying
So-
for that postage?
So
Not me.
so
Not me.
now the next 10 prizes are all they're kids. They can either have a home shirt, an away shirt, or a goalkeeper shirt. So whatever you
Wow.
win, Andrew will get in touch with you, and then you can pick what you want.
Brilliant.
Are you ready?
This is great.
Spin away.
Spin away.
Do, 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 do. How shit are we?
Number 4.
Hang on. Number 4, Richard Lee.
Richard
Number
Lee.
4. Number
Nice.
4. There you go.
So what? That was the shirts for the kids, right?
Yeah, all them now are shirts. The rest of the prizes.
Are they?
Yeah, we got 10. 10.
Till-
So nine,
till-
9 to go.
9 to go.
Don't worry, I'll ask off air. Go.
Keep going.
Nice spin.
$24.
24.
Dan Bridges. Dan Bridges, number 24. You have won a shirt of your choice. He likes Football Manager as well, Martin. So it
Shirt of
says-
your choice. I'd
Yeah.
probably choose somebody else's club by now.
Come on, be kind. Be kind. Come on.
$32.
Barry Mann.
I'm going to say Barry Manilow then.
Barry Mann. What number's that? 32.
Yep, it was
32.
32. Yeah.
And look at his bio. Look. Can you see that? Bray
can't see
Wyatt.
it.
Bray Wyatt. Look at that.
Oh,
Hang on.
one of your favourites.
He's a big wrestling fan. Let me.
Yeah,
in.
nice.
Oh,
Nice one,
nice.
Barry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
Next.
nice. Sorry.
Well done.
Let me just oh, there we go. What have I done? There we go.
Oh,
There we go. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Right. Prize number 11.
Let's take you back to your roulette days in Stowmarket Casino, Martin. When it's spinning the wheel.
Oh yeah. 5.
Number 5.
Claxto 1.
Tony
you go.
Mowbray.
Number 5. Arm
Right.
up, flag up. You're offside.
Great chant, that.
And
Great
yesterday,
flag.
21. And yesterday, this lad, 21 hours ago, he just hashtag Lambert out, hashtag Lambert out, hashtag Lambert out about 30 times. So well done.
I might leave his number in then. Right. Let's do it again.
Nick there, you can be lunch with Paul Lambert. Show Paul Lambert for a day.
14.
Number 14.
Jack _ BC8.
Nice.
You've got a shirt of your choice.
You say
Portugal.
about winning lunch with Paul Lambert, right? But it would be an incredible day. You'd start bright. You'd be amazing. All of these
Really,
different
really good.
things.
Really, really
Yeah.
good. Really, 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 really
That
good
was
dessert.
incredible.
Really, really good. Really,
It'd be
really
top
good
work.
dessert.
Adam Flat says, "What's the top prize? Motivational quotes by Paul Lambert." There
4
we
to
go.
go. We got that right? 4 to go.
5 to go.
5 to go.
5. Naomi Hodges, number 44.
Brilliant.
You have won a shirt of your choice.
Wow.
Which is age, that one?
Yeah.
44.
Where's the music on?
It's there.
26.
No.
My age.
Oh, 27. Sorry. 27. It just says at Fulcher. Don't know who that is, but you've won a shirt, number 27. You are in the draw.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah. 3 to go. So, George, at Sneaker ITFC Head, it says Upper Town, Holy is my favourite player.
Put him back in.
What number was that? 18. Right, we've got 2 to go.
Hang on, Trevor Rabin. Top prize is the talking Paul Lambert doll. Repeats the same
17,
6 comments.
wasn't it? 17 that was, that winner of that one. 17.
Yeah, it was.
17, yeah.
Yeah, because we just took 17 out, yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Number 9. No, 10.
Ooh, it's 10. Borderline.
Lewis Robertson. You have
Hey,
won.
friend of the show.
Friend
Yeah,
of the
Lewis.
show.
Well, you're friends of the show, but yeah. Go, Lewis.
So that's number 10. And we've got 1 more to go.
Oh, here we
Last
go. You've
one.
This is it. Ready? Steady.
Spin it
Spin
fast.
the wheel. Number 16.
Yep.
Ghanaian. Don't know him. But
Who?
he's won. At Ghanaian.
Well, he's won it. There we go. Job
There you
done.
go.
Well
Shout
done
out
to all
Andrew,
the winners.
organising. Fantastic.
Well done to
And
Andrew.
everyone
Yeah.
donating. Fantastic. Well done.
Well done. That's what the fan base can accomplish.
That's
It's
what the
brilliant
club's
stuff.
all about. That kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I'll send all them. Andrew will be watching. He was going to write them all down, but I'll send them to him, and then he will be in touch with everybody who has won. Thank you, everyone, for entering.
Absolutely.
Punch your admin. Top
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, he's available for hire. I do take commission, but he is available. So,
You got me. Good handwriting there, Matt.
Yeah, lovely. Mine's terrible, my handwriting's awful.
Yeah, mine too. So, before we move on to Oxford thoughts ahead of Tuesday's game, for people watching, Paul Lambert might want this in the future. iwanttonetwork.com, a fantastic platform where you can meet like-minded individuals in your business, your whatever sector you're in. So, in his case, management, and you can network and grow your connections and further your options and possibilities. There we go.
You don't have to read that off a bit of paper now, do you? It's like it's embedded in your head.
Yeah, I wanted to go harder in on the manager, but I didn't want to get in trouble, so I didn't. So there we go. Right, Oxford, big game coming up. David Pascoe kicks us off. Friend of the show, David. Oxford on Tuesday is a fascinating game. 2 sides in poor form. I fear we're vulnerable with these injuries. DJ, well done to all that donated. Just shows how good yes, it does. And Harry Butcher, this show really is top quality, 3 quality lads. Well,
Thanks,
2 and Rich. So I love you really, Mr. Mark.
Don't really care. Don't care.
Oh, I don't know. Fine. In
Don't
that case, I'll take you off. Oxford, Tuesday night. I've got Matt on the show with me.
Oh, you're on, Matt?
Am I on Tuesday?
I thought you were.
I thought you were on Saturday. I thought you were on the 5th.
Saturday.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong.
Stephen Neal's our normal Tuesday club, isn't it?
Tuesday, I've got Stephen Neal. You're right. Sorry, you're on Saturday, Plymouth. So Oxford, they were last year's playoff finalists, and they're this year's. Well, what are they? I mean, they're not doing well at all.
Struggling, isn't
Well, they started off poorly last season, didn't they? And then kind of like put some form together. They were quite decent when they came to Bournemouth Road, weren't they? I seem to recall. Who's it? Carl Robinson, the manager?
Yeah, good guy, him.
They lost 2-1 to Swindon yesterday, having taken the lead. They conceded 2 goals in the last 5 minutes to lose the match.
Yep.
It's difficult to predict, isn't it, what's going to happen in this game because of the injuries.
They've won 4 games all year. Just to put some meat on the bone, they've won 4 games all year. They drew with Portsmouth. They beat Wigan.
They're probably suffering a hangover, aren't they? From obviously they lost to Wickham in that playoff final. So it's quite probably hard for them to get themselves up because they didn't have much of a break after that, did they? It weren't very long, and then they would start the season. They got James Henry, and they, Matt, you're a big fan of him.
Big fan of him. Just think if he played. He did play. Yeah, he's the captain now. Yeah, he did play. Yeah, no, I think he's a really good player. I'd love to have seen him come to Portman Road.
Matt Taylor.
In that 4-3-3. Be fantastic, but. Yeah, I mean, we got a draw there in that rain last season. Do you remember? They kept coming off, didn't they, to clear the pitch?
I was at the snooker that night, Matt. I was at the Masters at the Alexandra Palace. Yeah.
He didn't miss much. He didn't miss much. It's a weird ground, ain't it? 3 sides. I've been there. It's a really weird ground just to have 3 sides. I think maybe if we can get a point now.
Oh, behave. Behave.
Have you seen anything that tells you you're going to win the game? I haven't. We haven't scored this week.
But it's what we've got available, Martin, you know?
Oh, it doesn't matter. What you've got available should still be beating a side that's so poor that is Oxford. I mean, they've won 4 games all year.
We've got 9 points in the last 8.
Yeah.
That's a real poor run of form.
It is.
So out of these 2 games, I'll go as a 2, Oxford and Plymouth. What are we both expecting? I did predict 4 points, I think, Matt. On my did I go for 20? Did I go for 23 points out of 11? Did I have a bang to the head?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you've been drinking.
Well, so did I. So
I said 14 points off the 11. You all thought I'd been drinking. So maybe we're going to meet in the middle somewhere. I don't know.
So we need another 11 points from 8 games for you.
This could be it. Yeah. This could be it. This could be it. You know, as in a totality of all of us wanting Lambert out this week. This could be it, because if there's anything, if it's not at least 4, but I think it's got to be 6. We're out of the top 6, and then of course that's when But if we fall out of the top 6, which is looking like we will, that's when I get myself. That's when I join you guys in Lambert out.
You always said that. If you're sitting 2 points outside the top 6, he said that's
anything more than 2 points, I'm officially Lambert out. And it's looking like, unless this week is a 6-point week, it could be this week. It's got to be. Like, you can say injuries all you want. Plymouth have just come up. You should. I know they're a good team, but you should still be nicking points off them.
He's a good manager. I like him. I like Ryan Lowe.
Yeah, he wouldn't do well here.
They took a draw 2-2, didn't they, with Portsmouth at their place? I think they were 1 up. They went 2-1 down. They got a late drop.
Yeah.
Well, that's Frank, isn't it? Frank knew he'll come back and bite us on the backside, won't he, Frank? We sod's law of that in the Plymouth game. I don't know. I can't see us getting 3 points either of those, because I don't feel like A, we've got the goal threat. B, we haven't probably got the midfield.
Where's the goals coming from, Martin? If you want 6 points.
Well, we've got a striker called Caden Jackson.
He won't play him, will he?
No. I don't know why.
What, did you hear his comments yesterday? Why he brought Drinnan on?
No, I didn't.
Because he needs minutes, he said.
You can believe that.
That is what he said. That is what he said.
He did all right when he came on.
I did, yeah. I agree with you, Matt. I thought he'd done all right, but
it was a weird substitution at the time. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, but he said he needed minutes, so obviously Jackson don't need no minutes.
We've got last season's top goal scorer on the bench. We've got a lad who's hardly ever played for the town. We'll bring him on instead.
Can we qualify? What we class as doing well these days? Just so I'm clear for a striker.
Yeah, I know.
He was looking to get into good positions. He put some crosses in. I don't know why he was putting the crosses in. He was getting on the end of them, but
he's a pro player. That's just a basic expected level, isn't it?
Well, he's
a level up from he's a level up from Hawkins, Matt. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
And he got that ball on the byline, didn't he, to cross it back in? So he showed. I like his swag. I've said that before. I like how he carries himself, didn't he?
I'd have liked him more if he'd scored a goal. Just any goal, like any game he's played in.
He's very unlucky not to have scored.
We've had unlucky strikers before. Marco Ulster, like, you know,
Sam Parkin.
Jonas Saxondale.
No,
don't
mention his name.
Jonas Saxondale.
Yes.
Do you remember him? Do you remember Jonas Saxondale?
Do
you remember Nicholas Goodmanson, Matt?
Yeah.
Scored in the playoff game against Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, yeah. He's one of the players no one ever mentions anymore.
Do you remember him, Martin?
I don't. I'm afraid I don't know. Slightly before my years, I think.
He was Swedish when he Axendale. Was he Swedish?
Yeah. Wild hair, I think, from memory.
Never scored, did he? Never scored. I think he hit the bar one night. I think we played Tranmere, drew 0-0. He hit the bar. He never scored. That was in the promotion year, wasn't it, when we went up?
Yeah.
He was there.
I've got a memory of Marco Holster away at Grimsby. We drew 0-0 and he scuffed the shot. I'm sure that's the memory of it.
First game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Holster had the big blonde mop, didn't he?
But somebody said to me the other day about Sam Parkin. I don't think you can mention Sam Parkin in any sentence with Drinnan or Hawkins. Like, Parkin scored in the Championship. He was not great.
Never at Pullman Road, though.
Oh, it don't matter, mate. Drinning ain't scored at Portman Road or anywhere else.
5 goals, Parkin. 5 goals all the way. I remember when to QPR at Loftus Road, Matt. We lost 2-1. That was when Mark Fish played that 45 minutes. But Sam Parkin scored a great goal, cut in from the left and banged it in the top corner.
I know the one you mean, actually. Yeah, that was
Great goal.
Good. But little Mochney, absolute nutcase. Came in to Southend, didn't he?
If Drinnan needs minutes, you play him in the under-23s.
I agree.
Yeah.
Has he got confused with what we're doing now? Like, we've had cup games. You got yourself out of those. So if you want players getting minutes, you don't play them in the league unless you're a couple of goals up and you think, chuck him on for the last 10. Like, you were what? Was it 0-0 at the time? Or was it 1-0 down? We may have been 0-0. 1-0? 0-0? Doesn't matter. It's still within the game. What's Caden Jackson got to do to get a game? Like, he's proven.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
He was wanted by Birmingham in the league above.
And Coventry, the rumours were. And Bournemouth. Yeah,
something not right there.
Perhaps he's just not feeling it after being ill and what have you. Eric Claxton just mentioned one of my favourite all-time strikers, Kevin Wilson. Used to love that guy. Great moustache.
Sorry, I missed it.
Jockey Wilson.
Jockey Wilson, he was good. Fox in the box style player, wasn't he?
He went to Chelsea, didn't he, man? He went to Chelsea.
Yeah. Played for Northern Ireland, didn't he? He was good.
Yeah, good player. Where's he now? He managed, didn't he?
He was managing Kettering, but I don't think he's in a role at the moment. He might be coaching somewhere, maybe.
Yeah. Apparently, Alan Judge had 2 great chances to level for Ipswich. Did I blink him?
He had the header. He had the header, and then he had the one where Drinnan, where it was going off, and he cut it back, didn't he? And then he smashed it against Matey.
Yeah.
He
was unlucky with that header, to be fair. He was unlucky. That was actually our best free kick of the season, I thought.
The decade.
The bar isn't very high.
Of the decades. I think we're going to win. I think we have to go with ambition and expectation. Like, we've still got a decent team, even though we've got injuries. Yeah, Andre cannot.
People false hope.
You need to bring your predictions down a little bit, because you always say 3 goals, don't you? Maybe 1-0. Maybe 1-0. Maybe 1-0.
The keys in the word
where the goals are going to come from. Unless people are coming back from injury.
Yeah, but there's bold and there's realistic, Martin.
But I'm not asking for realistic. I'm asking for bold. I don't want realistic. Realistically, we're probably going to get 2 points out of this week. Like, I want to be ambitious.
And then look at the games following that. Portsmouth at home, Peterborough away. They scare me, them two.
Now, here's a conundrum. Do you want them to win? Because every time we don't win, you're nearer the door of Lambert.
I was actually going to say there'll be quite a lot of fans out there who would probably take a defeat if it meant Lambert leaving.
Take a defeat for the long term, for the bigger long term picture.
The thing is, I've been there. I was there every week under McCarthy, and every week you're disappointed twice as much because you lose, and then he's not gone.
Yeah.
So you get double the kick in the gut because you wake up the next day and you think, right, any minute now, any minute.
Still there.
And he's still there.
First for midweek, didn't he? After that Leeds game. Was it 2-0 at Leeds? And then by Thursday, I think Lambert was in the building, wasn't he? Thursday, Friday?
He was at Millwall, wasn't he? He was at Millwall on the Saturday.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And somebody said, do you want a manager in now so he can assess things? We don't. I get that point, but we don't live in the 90s anymore. Like, you can watch a team and assess a team without managing the team. Yes, you don't see their training, but training rarely matters a great deal. Like, it's what they happen, what they do on a Saturday afternoon. And look at Lambert. He was assessing Ipswich before he was officially manager of Ipswich. Lee Cook will know what this squad can and can't do, because when you're out of work, you keep an eye on.
Paul Cook, I don't know about Lee Cook. He plays for Bournemouth.
Lee Cook, Paul Cook, Will Cook. It doesn't matter. They won't come here. Anne Widdicombe. I mean, she's available. It's not weakest link. Obviously, was that Anne Widdicombe? That wasn't it?
The weakest link.
Yeah.
Anne Widdicombe was on Strictly. Anne Widdicombe was on Strictly.
Anne Widdicombe was the MP, wasn't she?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm not up with my MP. Sorry. Okay.
We don't get other pods talking about Strictly Come Dancing. Yeah, we get it all here.
Did you watch it last night?
Strictly? No.
Oh, my wife's a primary school. I won't go there because she'll hate me for saying it. Anyway, right. I'm going to say 6 points, minimum 4 points. 2-1 winners on Tuesday night, by the way, to Crunch. There you go. Stick your 3 somewhere else. 2-1 winners.
I think maybe we're going to lose. We'll lose one of these games, maybe draw one of them. I can only see 1 point out of these 2 matches. The goals aren't there. The motivation, the performances aren't there. Ain't just going to miraculously appear after 48 hours later, is it?
I'm not going to argue with you because you've been right so far. Crunch?
A win and a defeat, but I'm not sure in what order.
Well,
You're
okay.
even hard pushed saying that, I can tell.
I was, yeah, I am. I want to try and be a little bit positive. It's really hard at the minute.
It is. And you never know. At the end of this week, possibly,
Nice.
I know Anne Robinson did the weakest link, but quite possibly maybe Marcus Evans will be saying to Paul Lambert, Paul,